Peace and love, family. I'm back with another one. This is going to be on the Moors in America, the Moors in Europe, and the Moors in Spain, the history that they don't teach you about. I'm going to give y'all a quick video on it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, as I always say, I appreciate you checking out my content. So without holding y'all, we're going to jump straight into it. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
On behalf of Akuno Sankofa Bay, you know what I'm saying? Jay, where you at? We're trying to help our people elevate. Hope. H-O-P-E. We're giving them hope. We doing what we gotta do, you know? Every day, one step at a time, man. We gonna make it happen. Helping our people elevate. Yeah. Sometimes I practice focus, thought, and meditate. I'm trying to come with other ways to help our people elevate and seeking knowledge, make me levitate. The lifted mental state is what results from how we orchestrate. This for the family's sake. Let's self-reflect and self-evaluate. And every day, make sure the steps you take, you calculate. Receive a master's fate. I know I can't exist without the hate, but that's okay. I balance that with higher self today. Success is on this way, and after that, my flesh can pass away.
A devout Muslim himself, Tayyip Erdogan, has contributed his thesis on the discovery of Americas. He declared the Muslim Moors had discovered the Americas before Christopher Columbus. It is alleged that the American continent was discovered by Columbus in 1492, he said. In fact, Muslim sailors reached the American continent 314 years before Columbus in 1178. In his memoirs, Christopher Columbus mentioned the existence of a mosque atop a hill on the coast of Cuba, Erdogan said, adding that he'd like to see a mosque built on a hilltop today. Scholars have disputed the claim in Columbus's writings, saying there is no archaeological evidence of Muslims having lived in the Americas before Columbus, an Italian, made his expedition in 1492 on behalf of the Spanish crown. It is the kind of arrogance and ignorance emblematic of the so-called modern scholars that they are willing to dispute the eyewitness accounts of Christopher Columbus himself, whom they balabar with the discovery of America. The memoirs of Columbus have been discovered and they have spoken. The Moors were in the Americas before he had got there. Spain as we know it, thanks to the Moors. Strolling through the southern Spanish city of Sevilla on a sunny early spring day, the sweet smells of orange blossoms surround you as they waft through the air. These fragrant fruit trees flourish in the cobblestone streets and bring color to the beautiful royal Alcazar of Seville. This picturesque sight wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the Muslim kings that reigned over the Iberian Peninsula for centuries. Unbeknownst to many, several of the most quintessential Spanish cultural icons we cherish today can trace their roots back to a mighty Moorish nation called Al-Andalus. The Moors' rise and fall. History has largely painted over the cultural and scientific contributions that the Moors had in Europe. They ruled over the Iberian Peninsula, parts of France, Malta, and Sicily for more than 700 years. When the old Roman gods were forgotten, many countries had already converted to Catholicism. However, the Catholics coexisted with a large and powerful Muslim kingdom that exerted great control over Europe. These two religions clashed often, but they also shared ideas, cooperated, and influenced each other in a way that almost seemed impossible today. By 1492, the Moors were defeated in the Reconquista, making Spain Catholic once again. Over the next decade, their population was driven out completely by the gruesome Spanish and Portuguese Inquisitions. The Moors ruled parts of Andalusia from the early 8th until the late 15th century, 800 years of history. Their legacy, especially in the terms of what we can see today, was considerable, with two of the region's most important and most visited monuments, the Alhambra and Mezquita, dating from Moorish times. Both are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. These tribes from North Africa left an outstanding cultural legacy behind them in Al-Andalus, or Andalusia, as it is today. This complex mix was intricately woven into that of the Myriad civilization, which had previously invaded and settled here. The influence of Moorish culture reached out far beyond Spanish borders, with the mighty cities of Sevilla, Cordoba, Granada, and Cadiz being recognized throughout Europe and North Africa as centers of great learning, renowned for magnificent art and agriculture, and homes of eminent scientists and philosophers. In the countryside, they also left behind sophisticated irrigation systems, testament to their skills, agriculture, and many pueblos blancos, white-painted hillside villages. Following the invasion of the Iberia by Tariq in 711, the Umayyads arrived in Damascus and settled in Cordoba, where they established their capital in exile. Towards the end of the 11th century, the Almoravids followed the Almohads, a Berber Muslim dynasty, came over from northern Africa. Following the losses at the Battle of Las Navas de Tolosa at the beginning of the 13th century, the Nasrids, who claimed to be the Middle Eastern origins, began their 250-year reign of Granada as a vassal state. When the Emirate of Granada was finally conquered by the Christians in 1492, the last Nasrid ruler, Boabid, was exiled, but after a year departed for Fez in Morocco today. After they left, Moorish history and culture was all but ignored, both by the Arab world and the Europeans. The same fate facing the traditions and culture of the Jews were expelled around the same time. Relegated to beautiful legends in the annal of history, those 8 centuries of Spain's past were not considered sufficiently important to study or even remember.